Chris, your character has such a wonderful arc in the film, and in the beginning, you get to act so wonderfully awkward. So, what stood out about getting to play Philip early on? Because, it's clear that he's just not really fit to be a father at that moment. He's emotionally unavailable. It gave you a lot to work with.
Well, I've been living it for a good 8 years. So that's been helpful. Slightly put out by a child arriving at your doorstep is kind of how I felt when my wife told me she was pregnant. So I wanted to imbue certainly a stillness in the character where I wanted it to go as long as possible, where we could just be both stood there not saying anything before Francis would make something happen. And so I tried to bring as much of that physical awkwardness to it as I could, really. And sometimes pretending that I would forget my lines in the hope that we could just get really awful, awkward pauses. Because I feel like that's what happens when non-social people have to deal with adversity.
Yeah, you do a great job there. And Kyle, you have some really great scenes with Marlo at the beginning of the film. How was it just establishing that daughter-father relationship with her? And she seems like such a promising young actress.
I'll answer that in a second. But to what you just said, mixing your pauses in with balancing that with just enough comedy but not too much, that's a fine line.
Yeah.
And you did that really well.
I think, genuinely, I think a lot of it happens in the edit, where they kind of like the editor will go, no, this is the perfect comedic balance. There's only so much that the audience will take before it becomes like a gig.
And that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. They did really good job on it. Thanks, Kai.
Yeah. My Marlo scenes were, it was a joy working with her. She's a wonderful little actress, and the scenes have a lot of, there's a lot of tender emotion, and there's there's that idea that as an actor I get to be alive with my daughter, and then I get to be not alive with my daughter, but yet try to send her off with the information you hope and you dream that you can share with your child before you send them out in the world. It just so happened the situation was a little peculiar in this sense. So there was a warmth to it that was there, and that dynamic within the script was a lot of fun to play, and it created something, and she was just fantastic, and she was smart enough to know all that. She explained all this to me. I didn't know what was going on, so it all worked out well.
Also, Kyle, the beard looked great in the film.
Oh, my beard! Hey, man, how about yours? Yeah, that was the first beard I ever had, because we were going to go shoot, and he said a little gruffy or whatever, and I called him back because we had to shut down. I said, "What do you want to do with the beard?" And he says, "Oh, just let it go." So all of a sudden, I had a beard.
It's great.
First time,
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. You can always get extra food and stuff.
Yeah.
It's good.
And then on my last question, Weruche, you get to chase around, you get to beat up Jason Momoa. Not many people can say they've done that. Just how fun was it doing those great action scenes? Because they turned out so awesome.
I had an absolute blast. I mean, I did rehearse the fight scene quite a few times, but doing it in person was so much fun because I actually felt like I was beating up Jason Momoa, which made me feel like a complete badass. I mean, it looks great as well, so it was so much fun to do that. I think that's like my first fight scene I've had on screen, so I was like, with that man, I'm gonna take it, so it was great.
Yeah, that's an amazing first fight scene. So congrats to you all. The film's really great.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.